available all morning. The Fox 61 Morning News starts now.
And right now at 6 o'clock, we've got breaking news in Middletown. Crews are on the scene of a fire right on the campus there of Wesleyan University. A live report is moments away.
More from Middletown. We're going to take you live there in just a moment. Also want to let you know that applications for energy assistance are opening up today. So we're going to tell you what you need to know to save you and your family some money.
Also, when are we possibly seeing these updated COVID vaccines that take into account the Omicron strains? We'll have more on that coming up.
Yeah.
Good morning, everybody. Glad you're with us here at 6 o'clock. I'm Tim Lammers.
At America Arias, thanks for starting off your Thursday with us. We're getting a check on traffic and the forecast here. We're starting off with Matt Scott. Good morning.
And we're also going to get updated drought information this morning at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. We'll have that for you. I have a feeling the map's going to look a little less bright because of the rain that we have had over the last 2 weeks. Good morning to you. Nice to have you along at 6 o'clock. Here's a beautiful day ahead. A top tenner, even though today's the first day of meteorological autumn, obviously it's still summer. We'll put it in the summer file. Lots of sun and plunging dew points. The work week ending on a quiet note, and the holiday weekend on around the corner, it's mostly dry. Not completely dry, but we'll talk about that coming up. Look at these numbers. 55 in Meriden, 59 in Danbury, 55 again in Willimantic, got 62 in Hartford. But boy, howdy, are these dew points good. 52 in New Milford. If the worst you have is 58 in New Haven, you are just fine. And these numbers are actually going to go down as we go throughout the morning and afternoon. So we have just begun with this. Got a westerly flow, a little rain moving into drier air, not playing into our forecast at all. Your bus stop forecast, 56 now, 78 later on this afternoon with loads of crisp autumn-like sunshine. We'll talk about what the weekend's looking like coming up in a few minutes. What are the roads looking like? The woman with the answer is Lauren Zenzi. Good morning.
Good morning to you, Matt. Good morning, everyone. As of right now, construction still wrapping up throughout the state, but overall no incidents to report. So that is some good news here on our Thursday morning. Let's bring you out to the Hartford area where we are seeing some heavier delays on the northbound side of I-91, right between Rocky Hill and Wethersfield. Let's take a live look out there right now. In the Wethersfield area, past where the construction is, things are moving freely on both the north and the southbound side, but we are, like I said, seeing some heavy delays where construction is wrapping up. Over in East Hartford, construction is wrapped up on I-84, so things are moving freely on both the east and the westbound side. And as we take a look at our New Haven drive times, 91 and 95 southbound, both looking good. 95 northbound is moving freely as well. Taking a live look out in New Haven, you can see right there, the proof is in the pudding, right in those live pictures. Things are moving freely out on 95 as well. We'll check in again coming up in the next half hour, but for now, Tim and Eric, I'll send things back over to you.
All right, Lauren, thanks so much. We will check back soon. And we are staying on top of the breaking news we told you about coming out of Middletown. Crews are on the scene of a fire near Wesleyan University. It's right on the edge of the campus.
It's on Pine Street specifically, which right across the street from the university's football field here. That's where Fox 61's Julia LeBlanc is right now. Julia, what can you tell us?
Hi, good morning to you. We know that a call for a fire came in right around 4:30 this morning. You can see it's still an active scene at this point. The exact location here is 128 Pine Street. You can see a pretty large response here from fire and police personnel. We have a Middletown police officer now walking through the scene. As you mentioned, this is right on the Wesleyan campus. The parking lot where this is right across from is a faculty and staff parking lot U for anyone who is familiar with this area. We know the fire was in a home right across the street from here. It's a white home. I was able to see the right side of it was charred from the fire, but that fire I was also able to see was completely knocked down at this point. We also know that Lifestar has been called to the scene. You might be able to see that view of them here. They are on standby at this point, but we haven't seen them take off at this point. Again, the scene here pretty massive at this point. Middletown Fire and police are taking care of the situation situation. You might be able to see one of the firefighters right there speaking with someone on the sidewalk there with their dog, talking about what happened here, trying to put together the pieces. I was able to see two men walking outside without shirts and without shoes earlier. I'm assuming they were escaping from the fire. We did just catch up with the Middletown fire chief. He tells us he's going to be giving us specific details in just a couple of minutes about what exactly happened here. If anyone was hurt, we'll bring that to you live once we get that information as well. For now, though, we are live in Middletown. Julia LeBlanc, Fox 61 News.
Hi, Julia. Thank you. We will check back again next hour.
Hoping for the best.
Yes, certainly. All right, starting today, you can start applying for the state's Energy Assistance Program that helps Connecticut homeowners and renters with all the costs associated with heating their homes. Governor Ned Lamont said this assistance is important as the summer ends and we start to head into the colder months.
It seemed like an odd day, hot day in August to be talking about home heating assistance. But I think we've learned anything over the last few years is that planning ahead really pays dividends.
So here's what to know if you're looking to apply. The program helps both homeowners and renters with all the costs that come with heating a home. The basic benefits start at around $400, but can be significantly higher depending on your income level. And these are available to homes that make incomes of up to 60% of the state median income. So for a family of four, that would equate to right around $76,000 a year, according to the Lamont administration. But it varies based on the size of the household.
And happening today, a decrease in energy cost is expected to start for Eversource and United Illuminating customers. In August, the Public Utilities Regulatory Authority commissioners voted unanimously for the lower electric rates. Pura says the average Eversource residential customer should save nearly $10 a month. UI residential customers should save nearly $8 a month. 6:06 right now, and as the kids head back to class, so are the people assigned to protect our kids. A number of school districts all across the state have added or are planning to add armed security personnel to their schools with the goal of stopping a potential shooter.
Yeah, in doing so, the Hamden Board of Education is still trying to define exactly what a school resource officer is and what the duties are and are not inside the buildings. This all comes after the Hamden Board of Ed recently approved adding an armed guard to its elementary schools. The middle and high schools already have them. During a special session last night, the Board of Ed met with that goal of defining exactly what a school resource officer is and should look like. The board chairperson said currently Connecticut does not have any requirements for how to use SROs.
And if SROs are going to be effectively used in a positive way to impact the Hamden school climate, I argue that administration and the Board of Ed must be proactive in implementing the recommendations outlined by law, policing, education, and human rights organizations.
And the district wants to hold some public forums, too, in the future to discuss the same thing, how to use these SROs.
And as for other districts, East Hampton has an armed SRO at their high school, and it's been there for a few years now. The Board of Education recently approved adding one to the 3 remaining elementary and middle schools there.
Killingly also is planning to hire one for each of its 5 buildings to enhance safety and cut down on response time. While we're talking about education here, the First Lady, Dr. Jill Biden, meeting with cabinet officials and education leaders to discuss solutions to the national teacher shortage. As we all know, Biden has been a longtime teacher and education advocate. She was joined by the education and labor secretaries, as well as the heads of 2 national teachers unions. They talked about staffing challenges in schools and how the government can work with the private sector to help.
There are so many other future educators out there who want to teach, but decide against it or decide to leave because so many obstacles stand in their way. If we want educators to be able to do what they do best, we have to give them the pay and the support that they need.
The White House also announced a partnership with online hiring companies like Indeed and ZipRecruiter to try to help the schools fill those crucial vacancies.
Well, this morning we're taking a look at this new video from Naugatuck police officers' dash cam here. You can see the cruiser being hit. Now, police say the cruiser was hit by a 15-year-old in a car that was stolen. Now, this all happening on Tuesday afternoon in the area of Elm Street. Officers say the teen ran off but was later caught near the YMCA. And we're told the officer who was injured is expected to be okay.
A Fairfield man who threw a smoothie at a Robex employee and also said a racial slur has agreed to pay $7,500 in damages in a recent lawsuit. That Robex employee sued James Iannazzo for the incident back in January, which was caught on camera. Iannazzo became irate and threw the smoothie at the employee after his son had an allergic reaction to one. Iannazzo said he had ordered a nut-free smoothie and didn't get it.